It's getting here, the recording. Hello, Nieves. How are you today? I'm very happy to have you here. We are going to read together a scene from Little Women. I asked you to help me with this reading, and you are my friend from Teresian school, and today we are celebrating Santa Teresa.
Yes, of course. Happy day, Anna.
Yes, it's a big day for us. And we say hello to all our friends from the school as well. Hopefully they will be watching us and commenting something below. And the idea is just to read 2 pages, but before we start reading the 2 pages from the script from 1994 movie, I'd like that you introduce yourself, tell us who you are, how do you work with your English, what book are you reading these days, what do you do?
Okay, I'm a lawyer and I work as a legal advisor at the public administration. Nowadays, I'm working in a ministry and I usually go to working groups in Europe and I use my English in such groups. And I learn English at school, at primary school, secondary school, and after I learned legal English at university. And I like to practice mainly when I'm working and also by seeing movies in English and these kind of things.
Yes.
Now I'm reading a book in Spanish called The Last White Man, would be the translation. That is about a woman, a 44 years old woman who is like the leader of a firm, but she feels herself like a man. So she's explaining how she became to be such leader, like having the man habits or behaviors. It's a very interesting one, but it's not.
Yes, and also it fits very well with the kind of reading we are going to do today, because Little Women, they were also playing many times in the novel as if they were men and trying to, we could say, mimic the habits and the role of the male characters in their piggy society, but also even in their own character, because Joe is all the time playing a little bit this character of becoming a man in certain.
Yes, I think she's trying to change the role that she is supposed to perform, no? Because she wants to be something else, something different than what the society hopes from her. So it's very interesting. Jo March is a very, very interesting character.
Yes. And you see, it's also remarkable how in the last movie in 2019, they have also highlighted the characters of the sisters that actually are very also important. Each of them represent different elements. And we have already said in other readings that Joe is fire, Meg, the oldest, is the earth, Amy, the youngest, is water, and Beth, the third one, is the air element. And it fits beautifully this description of the elements with their characters. And I think that's beautiful. And also I like the role of the mother, who is like kind of a eta that contains the 4 elements. I love seeing these symbols being played so beautifully in the literature. So let's start with this theme. You are going to be the narrator this time, and Joe, and I will be helping you with Meg and Amy.
Okay, so I begin.
Yes.
Jo takes down her hair and shakes it free, ties her jacket about her waist. Dropping to a runner's crouch, she looks ahead at the trail that winds off through the dense canopy of evergreens. She takes off. So we have here words like runner's crouch, that is a way she's running, like bend, like doing this in a very fast way. And she's looking ahead at the trail that winds off through. That means the path or the rastro, would say, that she's leaving behind when she's running through these bushes and grass.
Yes.
In this dense canopy, no?
Yes, beautiful.
Long hair flying, Jo runs through the woods. Now her full beauty can be seen. Jo is a natural athlete and as wild as the thin-flanked mother deer and newborn fawn, she startless. So we have here the word startless. That means like move with sudden movements, no? Like a little animal who is afraid of everything around him, something like that. Gracefully, Jo lifts her skirt and hurls a narrow frozen stream and runs on.
Yes.
Hairless is another interest.
Yes, the problem is hairless.
Hairless. That
Yeah.
means like jumps.
Exactly.
So, exterior. Near fields, approaching Concord later. Day. Jo walks freely along the muddy road toward the winter barren trees of Concord. With her wild mane of hair and glowing face, Jo makes an unusual sight. A farmer boy, passing in his cart, turns his head to stare. We have here some interesting words also, like muddy, which is the mixed or the combination of water and soil, like in a muddy puddle that you jump when you are a kid. Glowing face is like red face, full of light. No, she's like this symbol of fire you were talking before.
Yeah.
A farmer boy turns his head to stare. That means to look at her in a very fixed way.
Yeah.
So exterior, from garden of orchard house, early spring day. Arriving home, Jo reaches into the hedge and opens the lid of Laurie's Warehouse post office and lets out a cry of glee. 4 theater tickets. Here we have the word edge. That means like a barrier or like a fence made of branches or wood or something natural.
Yes, the bushes is these arbustos, we could say, that they do these limits, separating the houses. Yes.
And she opens the lid, which means like the tapa or the roof of the little house.
And let's comment that the birdhouse is this gift that Laurie gave them as a present when they received him in their Pickwick Society. So it's a present that he gave them in order not to be shouting from house to house and from window to window. He gave them this birdhouse with keys that, in this case, they don't need a key because the lid is open without any key. But in the second movie, or no, then a second, in 2019, is also with a key. Very interesting.
So let's out a cry of glee, which means a cry of being delighted or excited, like ah.
Yes.
Because she have found 4 theater tickets, which is very
with a great joy or with delight. Yes, exactly. Glee. I love it. You know, there are certain words in English that they're very catchy, and one of the catchy words is this one, glee.
Glee.
Yeah.
Interior, parlor, dining room, orchard's house, afternoon, day. We have here a very interesting word, which is parlor, which is the area of the house in a Victorian house when that these people use for chatting with the guests they have. Yes. So we are in that interior, in the parlor. Beth, carrying a cup of tea, tiptoes through the dining room. Marmee teaches a circle of freed women and immigrant women, who haltingly sound out words from children's primers. So we have here that Marmee, which is the mom of the 4 girls, she's teaching women, not any kind of women, there are freed women and immigrant women, and she's using for teaching them these primers books for children, which is very easy and very plain English, to let them know the language. I imagine to make them to be more comfortable in this society after be free, in this society.
Exactly. Very interesting, the role of the mother as well, right? Nieves, let's comment a little bit that these women are becoming, I mean, they were in the high society, but they are becoming poorer, we could say, the little women family. But even though they have their own problems, they are helping others. And that's what I love from this family, is that they don't lose touch with reality. And although they have their own problems and situations, they are helping others to cope with their things. So they have a good heart, we could say. The father is a priest that is helping with this service of priest in the civil war. And we are going to see him appearing twice, more or less, in the theater play, probably in some Christmas time, and also at the end. And I find this very inspiring, the way they manage their life, helping and being also sensitive and sensible to the needs of others.
Yeah, that's very interesting character, also very advanced for time.
And very Teresian as well.
Yes, very Teresian. Yes, very generous, with her knowledge. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So Beth, that's just Joe, who rushes about the parlor. Amy, who has a cold, cuddles miserably on the sofa with her sketchbook. Beth dodges Joe, which means that she move apart or she evade.
She evade the movement of Joe that is passing by very quickly. And dodges is this word that for us has been, I think for me, has been a new word that I have learned through this reading. So for me, it's a new word as well, dodges. But very good. So Amy Mark says, I want to go to the theater. I never go anywhere.
Joe March, you weren't asked. Beth, where in tarnation is Marmy's opera glass? We have here tarnation, which means like where the hell, no, or something like that. It's like an expression of what the hell, where are this item, which is opera glass, which is like this kind of glass you used to go to the opera. They used to go to the opera, like binoculares or something like that.
Exactly.
In Spanish. And so Amy March
says, you are just hugging Larry. Oh, Meg, can't I go, please? And hugging means, in this case, means that Amy is saying to Joe that Joe is being greedy with the presence of Laurie, that he is like she's taking Laurie for herself and she is not sharing Laurie with the rest. Remember that Laurie is being this kind of brother that they don't have, and they all love him. And he has been integrated already in their Pickwick society. So also we know, and we will know later, that Amy is in love as well with him.
To Meg, who descends looking handsome and nervous in her rather shabby finery, adjusting her capricious hoop skirt. Here we have the word shabby, which is something very used for a long time, or second-hand clothes. Hoop also, hoop skirt, which is like a ring in the bottom part of the skirt.
Yes, well done. And also nervous is one of these words that sometimes we pronounce, and it's difficult for us sometimes to pronounce it right. So nervous. Yes. Nervous. Yeah.
Nervous.
Well done. And Mark says, Laurie only reserved 4 seats. Oh dear, I hope this doesn't fly up. And in this case, the fly up is she's mentioning the hoop of the skirt. Amy March, Laurie could get another ticket.
Joe March, not together, and you couldn't sit alone. So Laurie would give you his place, and the 3 of us would be stuck with awful Mr. Brooke. At awful Mr. Brooke makes sense, Joe. Look, she soothes Amy, like she comforts Amy.
Meg March, rest your eyes and drink your ginger tea.
Joe March, and besides, you are weeks behind in algebra. takes away Amy's sketchbook. I won't have a sister who's a lazy ignoramus. Here, shows a math book at her. Finish the pages I've marked, and don't sulk. You look like a pigeon. Sulk here is like saying don't sulk, don't be in a bad mood. No.
Don't be grumpy. Yes.
Don't be grumpy.
Yeah.
Like a pigeon.
I don't know why as a pigeon. Maybe because of the sound. No, I don't know. It's kind of sound that pigeons are. I don't know.
I knock at the door and Joe bolts. Bolts here is like un portazo. Boom. Yes. At the slam of the door,
Amy March. You'll be sorry for this, Joe March. And we have finished reading the scene. We know, what do we know from now on? What is going to happen? What do you think that is going to happen? Do you remember?
Yes, now Meg is getting very angry with Joe.
Amy.
Amy is very angry with Joe, and she takes Joe's returns and put them into the fireplace, I think, no? Something like that.
She's going to take all the literary work that Joe has already done. Maybe it's a theater play, maybe it's a story that she has written, and she's going to throw them into the fire. And obviously, when Joe finds out who has done that, he's going to get mad at Amy. So in the next few pages, we will continue reading with somebody else the rest of the story. So thank you for reading. You have done it very well. And now let's comment 3 expressions or 3 words that you have learned with me through the reading.
Yes, for example, hugging.
Yeah.
To take someone for oneself and without sharing with anyone, hugging.
Yeah.
I would say also shabby.
Yeah, shabby is a nice one, yeah, too. What does it mean, shabby? Reminds us that.
Shabby is something that has been in use for a long time, very used for a long time, like something of second-hand clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
And also I would say how say sulk. Sulk.
Sulk, yes.
Sulk. Don't sulk. Like don't be in a bad mood. Sulk.
Yeah, I like it also, that expression. Very good. So we have finished with this reading. Thank you for your time. I will probably stop now the recording, but don't go, because we will continue talking and celebrating Santa Teresa's Day together.
Thank you for inviting me.
It has been a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.